It's almost becoming routine. Shelling and heavy artillery fired by the Turkish army into Syria. But Monday brought a new development, with Turkey opening a new front in the ground offensive. Free Syrian army fighters will now move towards Afrin from the east. Initially, the FSA forces entered Syria through Turkey from its west and northern borders with Afrin. Airstrikes and heavy shelling helped pave the way in the first 24 hours. Turkey says it is targeting YPG fighters, a Kurdish group it says is a terrorist organization, but which also happens to be America's strongest ally in fighting ISIL. And in Syria's ever-complicated web of regional and international allegiances enter Russia, key to allowing Turkey to operate in Afrin, something many already knew, but the Turkey's president admitted to on Monday for the first time.
We will handle Afrin. There's no stepping back from Afrin. We discussed this with our Russian friends. We have an agreement with them.
Turkey's top military officials and intelligence chief were in Moscow in the run-up to the offensive. Russia had military personnel in Afrin, which it has now pulled out. The people of Afrin we've spoken to feel a sense of abandonment. A feeling of betrayal echoed in a news conference by the Syrian Democratic Forces further east of Afrin, the group backed by the US to fight ISIL, with the bulk of its fighters from the YPG.
Turkey would not have dared to shell our cities or villages or commit crimes against our children without Russia violating their ethical obligation towards us and giving the green light to Turkey to fly their jet fighters over Afrin's skies. Therefore, Russia is required to provide an explanation of the circumstances around the Turkish aggression against our people.
An explanation may be hard to come by. The politics of Syria's war are being played out behind closed doors. The war, however, is as active as ever. It's been really difficult to get information out of Afrin because the comms have been so bad, but we have managed to speak to some sources who tell us that life inside the city of Afrin itself is pretty normal. They say the YPG is adamant that they're not going to give up the city or the region. They do tell us, however, that from the border villages, the people who live there, many have moved further in because of Turkey's relentless shelling, and that is something that we've been hearing here intensively throughout the day. There's been a steady stream of military hardware heading to the border. Turkey says it will not stop its offensive until it has pushed the YPG away from its borders, further complicating Syria's almost 7-year-long war. Stefanie, Dekker, Al Jazeera on the Turkey-Syria border.